Hi, my name's Elliott, and I've been shielding since I think it's about the 13th of March, 12th or 13th of March, and I know it's now about 4.5 months into shielding. I started shielding slightly earlier than what the government told us to on the 23rd of March, because I was told by my basically the reason for my shielding is because I had a kidney transplant. And I was advised by my transplant unit to start shielding when I did. So, yeah, it's been an interesting 4.5 months. I think, yeah, in terms of the impact on my life, it's pretty much impacted every aspect of my life. I've had to move home because normally I share a house with two of my friends who were still having to work and do other things. And obviously, for someone that's shielding, you're told that that's fine to stay in that setting, but you have to remain at least 2 meters apart to socially distance within your own home from the other people that you live with if they're leaving the house, which is just impossible. I tried it for about a week and it's just stressful. It's really anxiety inducing, and to live like that for what is now 4.5 months would have just been absolute hell. So I made the decision after about a week fortunately, someone has allowed me to stay in the house, but I've had to move to a different town, and this is where I've been since then. So it's my living arrangements have changed. Been living normally with friends, been living on my own in a different town, so don't know anyone here. Struggled to access food, particularly within the first few weeks, because the priority bookings for online shopping it took 2 or 3 weeks at least to actually sort of kick in. You'd go on there and it wasn't prioritising you yet. So that was a bit of a struggle. Accessing prescriptions, which I have to take, was a struggle. Having to sort of ask friends and stuff like that if they could pop into my pharmacy to pick up the drugs. Obviously financial, like normally I'm a student, so I would rely on student finance, and in the eyes of the government and the sort of different departments, because I get student finance, then that's you're not entitled to any additional financial support. But as all people know, unless you get some additional financial support from someone else, to live off basically about £9,000 a year is very difficult, especially when you're privately renting and over half of your student finance maintenance loan goes on rent and bills straight away every month. So then you've then got to buy food, transport, everything else on top of that, and so it just goes. And so like many other students, my plan was to work during the summer. I've not been able to do that, and so have struggled financially a lot, and will feel the impact of that throughout the next year, basically, because my plan was to work, have some money behind me for when the academic year starts again in September. So that I will feel that lasting impact. And then, just mentally, it's been obviously really tough being in a different place. Fortunately, with things like FaceTime and WhatsApp and stuff like that, it's being able to keep in contact those ways. But I can imagine for other people who maybe can't access that as well as myself, it would have been even tougher for them. So now, obviously, the shielding's going to end very shortly, and life sort of returning to normal, this new normal that we now live in. And I think for the shielding group, it's now we all have to determine our own point where we feel comfortable, and it's really challenging to now venture back out into the world, where a lot of people now, for things like social distancing and stuff like that, it feels like that's not as much a priority because the situation has improved. But for the shielding group, we're still told you have to strictly social distance from other people in case there's any flare-ups and stuff like that, because obviously we're a lot more vulnerable to becoming seriously unwell. So it's challenging times, and I think for everyone it's now assessing the situation, deciding what you feel comfortable with and trying to go for that. And yeah, just trying to keep safe really, and avoiding people as much as possible. So, but yeah, take care.